Top 10 Major Unfinished Construction Projects. Minar, Delhi. Upon its commission in 1300 CE, this freestanding tower was meant to be double the height of the Qutb Minar. Today, Minar's first-story rubble masonry core stands dejected in the very same complex as its antithesis. It reeks of controversies and jealousy surrounding the Khilji dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate. The passing of the Sultan led to the ultimate termination of this project by his successors. At 24.5 meters, the ruins of this minar and other structures in the complex are simply a shadow to the might of India's tallest Victory Tower. It is also usually overlooked by tourists. Tua Hassan, Rabbat. Glimmering in red sandstone against the backdrop of the horizon, the Tua Hassan is a half-finished tower built to immortalize the conquests of Yaqub al-Mansur. The tall minaret was envisioned to be a part of the largest mosque complex in Rabbat, Morocco. However, this monumental structure now stands incomplete with a 44-meter high tower, 200 cylindrical columns and a boundless marble floor. The spanned columns and the height of the tower only dictate our imagination to note the colossal scale had the mosque ever seen the light of day. Cathedral of St. John's the Divine, New York. Caught between the different styles of architecture across various ages, St. John's created its famed identity as an unfinished cathedral. Humongous in height and area, the cathedral's characteristic western facade might just trigger your OCD, but it is recognized worldwide. The enigma of all the stories surrounding the incompletion of this majestic Gothic church pulls travelers from all over to it. A century has passed, and it certainly feels as though God himself has permanently sealed the cathedral's construction, as it doesn't seem to be reaching anywhere near completion. St. George's, Bermuda. A broken-down church in Bermuda with no roof and broken walls happens to be quite the hot spot for weddings. This unfinished project of the St. George's Church, as it has been named, suffered several setbacks on its way to completion. This included fund shortages, congregation differences, and even nature's anger in the form of a hurricane. The architect finally concluded any sort of construction in 1899, leaving behind rustic Gothic ruins. It truly is incredibly picturesque that you would definitely want to get married here. National Monument of Scotland, Edinburgh. The National Monument tells the historical story of how a monument meant to serve the noble purpose of a memorial for the Napoleonic battle soldiers became infamous as a country's disgrace. On the one hand, it was meant to be a replica of the ancient and majestic temple of the Parthenon, with some of the most massive stones being extracted for its construction. On the other, this unfinished project's development was concluded in 1829 due to a shortage of funds. Today, what survives of the monument are 12 colossal Doric orders with fluted columns. Sagrada Familia, Barcelona. The beautiful fusion of art and Gothic Nouveau, this stunning brainchild of Antonio Gaudí, is one of his most famous structures, which is yet to be completed. The slender towers of Sagrada Familia, rising into the skyline of Barcelona, can always be pictured with cranes equally high as this regal basilica. My client is in absolutely no hurry, as once remarked by Gaudí. It is true even today for all the visitors who fly from all over the world to see this beautiful unfinished masterpiece. The current architect on the project aspires to complete the construction by Gaudí's passing centennial in 2026. Mingun Pata Dorgi, Mingun. Canon allegedly made up prophecy help save a kingdom? This is precisely what happened in central Myanmar's small town of Mingun. Commissioned by Bodo Paya, the ruler, Mingun Dorgi, is a stupend and unfinished project perishing in ruins surrounding predictions. Nevertheless, the stunning sight of this large rock-cut pagoda now serves as a home to various biological life forms, which is mesmerizing. It forces onlookers to imagine and appreciate the project's massive scale had it been completed. Bajeshwar Temple, Bhopal. Bajeshwar Temple is a riveting structure thriving in its ruins built by King Bhoja around the medieval ages, who was the founder of Bhopal city in India. Speculations around why it was left incomplete invariably point to natural as well as issues of battles. But, the marvelous details in the temple are still intact and admired. Looking at the massive Shiva Linga right in the center defining its scale, Bajeshwar Temple could have easily been one of India's largest temples had it been constructed entirely. Bolt Castle, Hart Island. This castle certainly looks like a picture straight out of a fairy tale. Bolt Castle is located on Hart Island near New York and is now reminiscent of a heartbreaking love story. The castle was built with ambitious rooms in exposed masonry and towers by George Bolt for his beloved wife. However, his beloved's untimely passing led to the structure being abandoned, with Bolt never setting foot on this island again. Although incomplete, the aura of alchemy around this picturesque castle draws visitors to this island. Sathorn Unique Tower, Bangkok. Sathorn Unique Tower is a major sufferer of the Asian financial crisis of 1997, which ultimately brought about a halt in its construction. With a conceptualized plan of building nearly 47 luxury floors, it is now a gloomy tower of intrigue. While it is off-limits, urban explorers manage to find their way inside to the top stories of this skyscraper. The dull exposed concrete has even been covered by graffiti. The eerie sense of loneliness is still extremely palpable, with absolutely no signs of human life in this incomplete ramshackle.